G'day guys, happy Easter. I wanted to do a slightly different take. This is sped up a lot because it's super simple and I figure you'll be able to get the gist of it. I'm using my Teflon bone folder here, and I'm using the Teflon one because it glides across the foil, which is obviously Easter egg foil, and it allows it to... Remember when you were kids, you used to use your fingernail and you'd like try and get every single crinkle out of the Easter egg? Well, maybe you didn't, but I used to do that. I don't have much OCD, just a little bit. So basically what I'm doing here is I've jumped on Cricut Design Space and I typed in Easter eggs, and I went through until I found some that had a pattern on them, but not a pattern that was so tiny and intricate, because what I wanted to do was cover these eggs. Now when I cut these Easter eggs out, the actual cut file is the ones that are hollowed out at the top there. What I did was... Oh, Janice, by the way, Janice, if you're watching, have a look. That's how I got mine to stick. So Janice was trying to add some foil to something, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I did. So I literally just got some glue on there. That's my art glitter glue, and I just used an old paintbrush and very quickly, I mean this is sped up, but very quickly, because it's super warm at the moment here, quite humid and warm, so it takes nothing to dry. So that's all I did. Now I did give it time for it to actually dry properly, and yeah, so what I did with the circles that I'm covering, so I duplicated the patterned cut file. Then what I did is I clicked on each one and I clicked on the contour button, which is down the bottom in Design Space. And oh, don't mind me, this is still in here. This is crazy. I'm having a play with shorts. I don't know if you guys, let me know below. Do you watch shorts? Do you find shorts annoying, or do you find them interesting because you're able to see something really quickly and you only have to sort of focus on it for 30 seconds? I personally like the long play video. That's personally what I like. But sometimes I do like to just sort of sit there and just chill out and flick through some reels or shorts or whatever. And on YouTube it's shorts. So I've been having a bit of a play to see if I could do, see what I could do with it. Now, what I've actually done here, so with the contour button, you click on that, and what I did is I went through and I left the solid egg, I left that fine, but every other one I turned off. So that gave me the exact size of the Easter egg, and you can see there, it cut out from just below there. So am I explaining that well enough? I hope I am. So with the contour tool, I turned off all the lines and flowers and dots and everything, and I simply cut it as a whole Easter egg. So that's how I did that. If you want me to show you how I do that, I'm happy to do a quick Cricut video on showing you how you can do that. I'll be honest with you, this is actually the very first time I've ever used the contour tool, and it was super simple. I am not tech savvy whatsoever, and Cricut does make it very easy for us. Let me just say that. Like they keep everything as simple as possible. So if you're in the game for, if you're thinking to yourself, I'd really like to get myself an electronic cutting machine. I have had a Silhouette Cameo 3, and I've got a manual die cutting machine. It's the Spellbinders one, and I have my Cricut. For myself personally, I'm not tech savvy at all. And I found the Cricut super, super duper easy. Everything on it is so simple. I don't have to go to university for 6 months to try and figure out how to cut something. So I just found the Silhouette software, and it's just me. That's just my preference. So when I rabbit on about Cricut all the time, that's because I have actually had something, I do have something to compare it to, and I love my Cricut. If Cricut's listening, if you want to sponsor me, sponsor me. Just being silly. So yeah, so I actually find it's fantastic. I'm having some issues at the moment because my blade's not playing the game. One of my blades is having an issue. So, but it's okay. I'm just increasing the pressure and it seems to be working. So what I've done, you can see here, I popped out the centerpieces and I'm going along and I glued them all down to the foil. And then I'm using my Tim Holtz scissors because they cut foil, not a problem. And I'm cutting it really close to the edge. Now I'm just folding it over the edge to tuck it all in so it's neat and tidy, right? That's what I'm doing with all these inside pieces. Then I'm placing them back sort of in the egg. That way I'm getting the white line. You can tell it's a cut file. It's not a solid egg. And I can sort of jazz it up a little bit. So I'm really, really happy with how these turned out. Now, I do have another video from last year. I will endeavour. I've never ever done this before, but at 7:04, I will try to, I'll try and tag that video as a card. I think I can do that. So if I can't manage to, if you don't see a little thing pop up the top and that you can click on to go to last year's video, I will link that in the description below so you can have a look at what I did with the Easter egg wrappers this year versus what I did with them last year. So I think it's pretty cool. So, or with foil, I should say, foil. So yeah. So I just, look, I don't leave all of this in because it's kind of like watching paint dry. Well, I think it is. I know I always leave everything in, but this is pretty self-explanatory. I've completely done the blue egg and now I'm just cracking on with the next egg. Cracking on, do you like that? Egg, cracking on. Oh man, I am definitely in need of a coffee and a sit down. Okay, so I was unaware that my video was playing at the top there. I apologize for that. It is, I don't even know what it is, to be completely honest with you. It could be, oh, it's someone scrapbooking. I don't know who it even is, but it's some scrapbooking. Now, this is where I decided I'm not just going to put these on a white background. I want to add lots of color. And I pulled out this very, 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 very old bubble stencil. I sprayed it with, oh look, there you go. I realized I moved the camera, the iPad. Now, I sprayed it with my spray adhesive. I used the one from Spotlight. That's just what I've got. Crafter's Choice. It's a low tack spray and it gives you an extra hand. That's how I like to explain it. When you're doing stencil work, it's kind of good because then it holds it down. It doesn't leave any residue on your page. It doesn't do anything like that. And here is my mistake of the entire layout. Can you spot what I did? I put orange next to blue and I'm ink blending. What do you get when you mix orange and blue? Well, yeah, brown. So I tried to I'd already put it on there. I don't know why I meant to grab the pink, but I grabbed the orange and I don't know why I did that. So, but it's okay. I think it turns out all right. And by the time we put this is what I say to you, don't worry about the mistakes. Although this is a pretty big one. This one's up there because it looks dirty, which is a bit annoying, but it's okay. So I pulled out some mint tape and I ran that up the sides and across the edges because I wanted to try and keep it in sort of a square-ish shape. So, and I'm creating the border by doing the stencil in exactly the same. So I'll basically come in just under an inch from each edge, and that's creating my border for me. So that worked a treat. I was happy with that. Good results. Now this is me trying to make sure I don't cross-contaminate my ink pads. It's not really a drama normally, but so I'm really happy with that. I'm okay with that. I did nearly have a minor heart attack when I had the blue next to the orange, but it's okay. So now I've printed my title. I've cut my title, printed my title, typed the title, and then I printed it. You can see there I was going to use my brushes, but it's so much easier to use your thumb dauber, your finger dauber. Thumb dauber? Finger dauber. And you get a much richer colour. So your colour payoff, you can keep it in a smaller area and it works so much better. Well, that's my opinion. Now, I'm just adding this to my offset. I cut the offset this time. It was 0.97 of an offset, purely because I wanted it to have quite a wide white. So when it goes over the top of those spots, it still pops. I do have to do a little bit more work on this because it didn't pop the way I thought it would. So now, as you can see, because I didn't have to clean that Cricut mat off because I left the original on there and I wasn't adding water to it or anything like that. So it just all sat on top. So it was fine. So I've added my border. I don't know why I stuck that down straight away. I never ever do that. I don't know why I did that. So, because I've put my Easter eggs on there and I had to trim them down a little bit and it's all right. We live and we learn, right? So the colours of Distress Oxide that I used Mermaid Lagoon, Ripe Persimmon and Seedless Preserves. Just so I had super uber bright colour payoff. Because we're dealing with Easter. It should be bright and colourful. And because I'm dealing with the Cadbury Easter eggs, you want it to be able to stand up to that. Like, you don't want a wallflower situation going on. So this is where I realised I've stuck them down. Don't worry, Tim Holtz shears. They come in handy because they're nice and long and it's all good. So I did feel very unco doing it, but it's okay. So this is where I realised I sort of had a bit of a play thinking maybe I could run the title all the way around. Nope, didn't like that. See how Egg and Thief is not sticking out it's not jumping off the page. There's no pop. I'm struggling with that bit. But it's okay. I leave all these bits in for you. And this is why we leave all the bits in, because if you see how I do it, you may go, oh, this is why you had trouble with that. Maybe you should have kept all the orange dots across the top and that would have made a whole lot more sense because your purple and your blue would stand out on the orange. We live and we learn. If it was pink, it would still stand out. But that's okay. It's all good. Let's not stress about it. So this is where I decided, do I want to stick my eggs? I'm using my my Cricut scraper to scoop up the egg and all its innards. It's the only way I can describe that. It's all the cutout pieces. And scoop them all up in one hit. And I think I still was a bit mufty with it. And it goes together, but I think there was two pieces here where they weren't right. I don't know whether I put them upside down or something. I don't know. Something wasn't right. They're sort of like concentric circles, basically. So you would think you can't stuff it up. You would think. But a little known secret, if someone's going to stuff something up, it'll be me. If along the way of learning so many different techniques and design ideas and concepts and color coordination and all that sort of stuff, all of that, I can tell you, I have had the biggest share of stuff ups. Like, some of them, I don't know that I've thrown out too many layout setups. I do think I've kept some. Some I look back and go, oh wow, I really need to just re-scrap that. But I don't, because that's the idea of the journey. For me, that's what I hope you guys get from my videos, is it doesn't always work. There is no perfect formula for the scrapbooking, in the scrapbooking community, unless you're literally wanting to do cookie cutter style scrapbooking, where, you buy a kit and it's got the photo mats and everything in it, which for some people, that's great. My bestie, she loves that sort of setup, like back in the day with like the Rick Rack and that sort of thing, because it took away the decisions. She doesn't like making lots of arty-farty decisions, and that's totally fine. That's her thing. That's her deal. Me, on the other hand, I love all the little bits. This is where I realised my thick Posca pen is dead, and I meant to buy a new one, and guess what I haven't done? I haven't bought a new one. I've got like 7 fine ones, but I haven't got a thick one. So I think here I do. There you go. I zoomed in because I've had a few people ask me. I know Bobby. Hey Bobby, how you doing? I know Bobby quite often makes comment when I say, what do you want to see? What do you want to, that sort of thing. And she's mentioned that, pen work. So today, while I was going around this, I could have just skipped over this and pretended that it was all perfect, but that's just not me. I don't do that. I never want to make it, you know what I've just seen? Okay, so this one's for you. You're going to love this. You are going to love it. Check out the spelling mistake. I've done it again. You are kidding me. I cannot believe I've done that again. This is what happens when... Seriously? You know what, Sue? I'm leaving that there just for you. This is how I will know if you've watched all the way through this video. Can you believe this? Okay, so the funny joke is Sue can spot a spelling mistake. Like, sometimes when I do, my last spelling mistake was pretty big, pretty bold, pretty much like this one. Check out thief. I before E except after C. That was probably the very first thing I was ever taught when it come to extended literature at school. And I've just spelt thief, E-I-F. What on earth is wrong with me? Okay, so FYI, I know that I just spotted it then. But that's okay. Now you would think that I'm going to go and I'm going to change that and I'm going to edit and I'm going to fix it all up. And I'm not. Because you know why? We all make mistakes. And that is why I bring you the good, the bad and the ugly. Because we all make mistakes. I know that thief is spelt T. You know what? I reckon Cricut, if you're listening Cricut, I think the next thing you need to implement in your text box now I can't speak. Can't spell, can't speak. Jeez. Oh, okay. Start again. Cricut, when we are typing in a text box, can we have a spell check session? That would be great, because clearly I'm missing the mark. I have been double checking everything. I'm sorry, I'm looking at that and I think that's funny now. I love how this layout turned out. And you know what? I can't even fix it. Do you want to know why? Because I glued the word thief down with art glitter glue. Not a chance is that sucker coming up. And there's no way you can swap over the E and the I. Like, it's not gonna work, I don't think. I'll have a look. If I manage to fix it, I will add it to my post over on Facebook. I'll pop it up there, and that way, see, this is what happens. If I was scrapping and I was thinking of a few different things, and we got a few things going on here at home that's like a bit stressful, and everything's fine, don't stress, but you know, a little bit stressful, and I've got that in the back of my head, and then I've got Easter. I've got to plan that. Got to get that cranking. Yep, that's not a problem. And clearly I was not focusing when I created my title. So, oh, there's the thunder again. You can tell I'm doing both of these voiceovers. If you saw the other one, you'll know. Actually, no, this one's going up on Saturday. So this was yesterday that I recorded this. So I recorded this in the afternoon on Good Friday, and this one's going up tomorrow on Easter Saturday, and I don't think I'm going to be able to fix Thief. I'm sure not going to change the video footage of it, but you know, it is what it is, people. You make mistakes, you live by your mistakes, and you don't make out you're perfect, because no human is. So, although most of us know how to spell thief by 46 years of age. But anyway, that's actually funny. Look at that. And I even went over it with glossy accents. I love going over the top. So that is Distress Oxide ink with glossy accents over the top, and it just makes it look so shiny, all the shinies and all the sparkles. Now the sparkly bits that I've put on there, they're from ALINA Crafts, cut files from Cricut, and the poor spelling is from Karen. So I'm laughing now. That's funny. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing Easter tomorrow. And if you're watching this on Saturday, have a great Saturday. I hope you get everything ready so you can have a good family day on Sunday. And hopefully you get lots of chockies. And I will be back with you tomorrow with another video, because I'm giving you a bonus one for Easter Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. I will chat to you soon, and bye for now.